Well, yesterday, United had their monthly meeting because Tuesday was a holiday, and Pat English is here today. She's their board president. The meeting ran, 2 hours, and basically 2 hours and 11 minutes, so not a real long meeting.
No, it wasn't too long, and it wasn't too eventful, actually.
Right, yeah,
But,
it was pretty well, kind of smooth the whole way.
Yes, it was. Nothing really too critical. But we were very disappointed to hear that Residents' Voice, Pamela Grunke was on to say that Residents' Voice, it's not exactly disbanding, but they will not be having their monthly meetings. Now, Residents' Voice, Pamela Grunke and Connie Grunke, have been supporters of anyone that wants accountability and transparency. They've been real advocates and champions of that. So we were sorry to hear that Pamela will not be having the Residents' Voices meetings anymore. She will be at home with her hubby, Connie, who's been the real champion throughout the years for all kinds of good things for the village.
Right. Well, maybe somebody will. I didn't really hear her say if somebody's going to take over her slot for Residents' Voice and maybe reestablish the meetings early next year or something.
I don't think that will happen unless there is a need.
Okay.
Someone sees a need for it.
Okay.
But they feel, as we have to agree with them, that they have accomplished just about everything they set out to accomplish in the 9+ years that they've been in operation. So, but they will always be there, I'm sure, to help us if we need it. And so that was about Residents' Voice. And then the home sales and the leases. We're seeing that the prices are still up per unit. They went up from $169,100 average last year to $199,623 the average this year at this time, which is still an increase of 18.1%. We also have 358 units leased out, and this only represents a total of 5.7%. So we're not over-leased yet. We don't plan on ever be over-leased if we possibly can. And then one thing that we've noticed that in spite of the holidays, the sales are quite brisk still. We've had 38 sales in October, which was pretty good. And not only that, in November I have spotted at least 2 homes in United that are selling for over $400,000.
Yeah, you said that at the meeting, yeah.
That's totally amazing.
Yeah,
you know.
it is.
The prices are definitely going up. Obviously, these 2 must be beautifully upgraded to demand that kind of money.
Yeah.
But it's still the right way for us to go. We don't want it to be going down, that's for sure.
And you talked about meaning the board, but you specifically brought up, about how certain investors might come in, and there were a couple people who were going, well, we don't know about this, but you said, well, a lot of times they come in, they upgrade these, they make them beautiful. In a sense, they upgrade the community by doing that, and because of the upgrades that are in there, it actually costs the mutual less down the road, because as we know, if people upgrade their units, which they can do, but they're then responsible for the new appliances and such and things like that.
That's true, Ken. I have a philosophy based upon my experience, which has a lot of real estate background. People do not know that I have a lot of real estate background, because while I was doing this and that, I was usually also doing real estate myself. As a result, I spent a lot of time in university taking real estate classes, and appraisal was one of the big things that I did a lot of. And as a result, one thing that I believe is that if you improve one unit or one house, you improve the entire community. And our fiduciary duty as corporate directors is to protect the assets of the corporation. And we're certainly protecting the assets if the assets are improving in value because of things people are doing to their units.
Right.
So I know that some people do not agree with me on this, but I'm pretty much a firm believer on that. And I see some homes in United that have been beautifully improved.
Yeah, they have been.
And as you said, once they've been improved like that, we don't have to pay the expenses of the remodeling inside. We don't have to put new counters in. It's up to them now.
That's true. I've seen a home like that. A friend of mine who lives here, when he and his late wife moved in, I don't know how many years ago it's been now, maybe 10 years, and they invited us over for dinner, and the kitchen, the previous owners totally redid the kitchen. I was like, wow, this looks like a model home in here. I never would have expected it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can be very surprised at some of
Yeah.
the homes in United these days. Now for the plumbing issues.
Yes.
I'm afraid plumbing issues is going to be something that we are going to have forever, because
Right.
the units are 50 years old, you know. But I would encourage anyone that has any problems with their plumbing, if they have toilets or showers or kitchen sinks backing up, or if they see any stoppages like that, that they immediately contact Property Services. And if things are actually backing up into their building, I mean, these are serious issues, and they demand an emergency treatment. And I have every confidence that Property Services will, in fact, take care of these emergencies, provided the people call them up and let them know
And
about
call
it
them
right
sooner
away.
than later.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're working very well, though, with our toilet replacements. That's coming along quite well. And also, we're also working with a sewage situation. If there's a problem, if we see a systemic problem in a building, then we will generally line the sewer pipe with some kind of an epoxy or something like that that helps prevent the tree roots from growing in there. So there's a lot of work being done on that, and we want to spend more money next year and next year and next year on the sewage issues, because they're number one, really.
Yeah, it's
number
a big
one
issue.
problem. They really are. Then a nice little thing is the benches in the laundry room. We're going to be installing benches in each of the laundry rooms. Don't hold your breath on this, it might take a while. We did not put a limit, a time limit, to having this completed, because in as much as it's a nice thing to have, it's not an emergency. It's not like sewers, for example.
Exactly.
So,
And as you said, I want to mention that the reason is you're saving money by not having an outside company put together the benches. Staff is going to do it. And as you
Right.
mentioned at the meeting, you know, if something pressing is out there that needs to be done, they're not going to be taking the time to make benches. We'll move along as we can with that. So
as time permits.
I think there's, what,
yes.
75, 74 benches, something like that.
I think there might be a few more than that.
Okay.
I'm not sure of the exact
There's a
number
lot,
of laundry
but
rooms.
yeah.
There are, yeah. And of course, the big thing this week was electing the GRF board, the 4 people to the board. This was absolutely incredible, because in my opinion, 2 of the most talented people in this community that know more about what goes on and how to make it go on the right way is Mike Comer, who is the president, who's just finished his short term, and Catherine Freshley. We are so lucky now to have Catherine Freshley on the GRF board, and even better, she's now the president of the GRF. So United, we're absolutely delighted by this, and we're delighted that the other 3 were elected, John Beckett and Kim Shirley, and Joanne DiLorenzo, I think, is a rising star. I think you'll see she's very good. She's very articulate. Anyway, we're very happy that we have all those, and we were very, very thankful that Mike Comer was on there and John Parker. They really helped, even though these 2 have only been on United and GRF for 3 or 4 months each time.
Right.
They have been very valuable during that period of time.
One
We
other thing
thank
we
them
want to
all.
mention, your United newsletter, you're sort of following what Third has been doing, and
Yes.
when do you anticipate the first one going out, in a month or so, or do you have a date yet?
Month or 2 months.
Okay.
No, we don't have a date yet. It's all in the preliminary planning stages, but I think everybody's happy about that, and I think it will be a good thing for the community to have something regular so that the people can either pick it up at the clubhouses or they can go online and see it.
Yeah.
There
I
was a
think
lot
that's
of
good.
discussion about the resolutions being in it, but no, we can't do that. The resolutions can be on the website, but if we were to start putting resolutions
Oh, your
on the
newsletter would be that
newsletter-
thick.
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So the last thing I'd like to talk about, Ken, is the probate filing, because this is very, very important. we're almost ready to file a probate action. The probate action will limit the actions of GRF, that what they can do without the approval of the corporate members. And this is something that GRF, United, and Third, their lawyers have all vetted the amendment to the trust. And they've all signed it. We've all signed it. But we can't get the Towers to sign it. And as a result of that, it's costing the community a lot of money. United expects to spend $15,000 to $20,000 on this probate filing. I don't know what Third and GRF will pay, but it would cost the Towers nothing, absolutely nothing, for them to go down and sign that amendment to the trust. And then everybody would be fine. We wouldn't have to deal with a probate filing, but they are just too stubborn to sign it. And it makes me very, very upset about this. I'm very upset about this. They are hurting the community, and I would ask the Towers, please, please, do your fiduciary duty. Go down there and sign that trust amendment that has been vetted by all the attorneys. And I'm sure their attorney would agree to it too.
Okay, very good. And I do want to mention that your meeting is being replayed, your meeting, meaning yesterday's monthly meeting, because we're kind of a little off schedule on here, is going to be replayed today at 1:30, as you can see there, and then back on track next Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Thank you very much indeed, Ken.
Sure.
I really appreciate
And I know you got another meeting.
I've got
to go
another
to.
meeting, yes.
All right, we'll be back.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.